Good day, viewers. You are welcome to ACES Online Math. This is the platform where we remind ourselves and where we learn everyday mathematics. Today, we shall be dealing with these areas of study. That is, we continued on our previous video that we had earlier. That is how we can convert binary number to other base, either base 2 or base 5, base 6, base 7, base 8, and so on and so forth. But we are given this question that we should express 10.101 base 2 in base 10. Please, there is an error here. What is that error? And this error, we the teachers, also the students, will commit that error. This is 11.101. It is not 11 point. What do you mean by that? Point is different from dot. Okay, if I should say 1.2, it means 1 times 2. Yes, don't forget. I'm reminding you of this next class. 1.2 means 1 times 2. But when we're talking about 1 point, our decimal, if you check your calculator, go and check your calculator. Your decimal is always at the bottom. You know, the lower part of these numbers. Go and check. You see, this is 1.2. Okay, so therefore, this is 11.102. Meanwhile, we wanted to write 11 point, so our decimal is below here. So if you come across any of this, that is, we are given 1.2, what that means is what? 1 times 2. But literally, all of us, we believe that 1.2 is the same thing as 1.2. No, it is wrong. So take note of that. That is where we learn everyday mathematics. Now, the question says we should express 11.101 base 2 in base 10. And look at this. This is not like the previous one that we used to do. This requires decimal. Okay, this requires decimal. And how do we express this when it comes to decimal? It's the same way, but there is a slight pattern that we introduce to that. Then let's express this. First and foremost, we have 11.101 base 2. Then let's go. Let's expand this. We shall have 1 times 2 plus another 1 times 2, right? Okay, 1 times 2 times another 1 times 2. Then we begin with our power from the back, putting it on our base, 0, then 1. Let's close this one. Let's close this. Let's put this in a bracket, okay? Now let's move on. Then this is dot, right? This is where our decimal is, right? This is where our decimal is. Then let's begin with this. 1 times 2, okay? Then plus 0 times 2 plus another 1 times 2. Okay? The moment you discover that we have decimal, immediately after the decimal, though you introduce your negative power. You introduce what? Negative power. That is negative 1, negative 2, then negative 3. This is how to express any binary number in decimal form. This is how to express them. Immediately after the decimal, you introduce your what? Decimal 1. The negative power 1, negative power 2, negative power 3. If it continues like that, you keep on putting them one after the other. Now, let's go. What do we have here? This is 2 raised to power 1. 2 raised to power 1 is 2. 2 times 1, we have 2. Plus 2 raised to power 0 is 1. Don't forget, anything raised to power 0 is 1. Then 1 times 1, we shall have 1. Let's keep this here. Dot. Now, how do we express this? Please, whenever you see, let's say, x raised to power minus 1, this is one of the laws of indices. It's the same thing as what? 1 over s raised to power 1. S raised to power minus 4 is the same thing as 1 over s raised to power 4. Please take note of this law. Take note of them. They are very, very important. This is the law which we are going to be using in this in solving this problem. Now let's go. We have 1, which means 1 will be multiplying 2 raised to power minus 1 is the same thing as what? 1 over 2 raised to power 1. Okay? I think that one is clear, right? Good. Plus 0 times 2 raised to power minus 2 is the same thing as what? 1 over 2 raised to power 2. We close that bracket again. Likewise, 1 times 1 over 2 raised to power 3. Yeah, that is it. Then let's go. What do we have here? 2 plus 1, we have 3. Okay? Dot. Now, let's deal with these ones. Okay? Let's deal with this one. 2 raised to power 1 is 2. Okay? This means 1 over 2. Okay? 1 over 2 times 1, we're still going to have 1 over 2. Okay, plus, okay, let's move on to this. Anything to be multiplied by 0 definitely will give us 0. So let's put 0 here. Plus, now 2 raised to the power 3, that is 8, right? Which means 1 over 8. 1 over 8 times 1 is going to give us another 1 over 8. It's going to give us another 1 over 8. Now, then we shall have 3 point, okay, let me drop the decimal, let me place it well so that we'll know the difference between dot and decimal. 1 over 2 is the same thing as 0.5, right? Okay, 0.5 plus 1 over 8. Don't forget, 1 over 8 is the same thing as what? 0.125. 0.125. Let's add this and this together. That is 0.125 plus 0.5. Okay, so if we add them together, we have 5, 2, 6, then 0. So 0. So definitely if we add this with 3, we shall have 3.625 base 10. This is our final answer. That is, if you are to express 11.101 base 2 in base 10, this is what we are going to obtain. If you enjoy this, or let me say if you understand this, express this in base 10. I'll be expecting your comment, your answer in the comment section. Thank you for following. Thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing. Share with your friends and family. Bye for now.